After 85 years, a man who had given his life in service to God concludes his life with the words, "I never thought my life would come to this disastrous end." What pain! What pain! He said, "How did you know I was here?" I said, "I didn't know you were here. I was just looking for someone to visit, to encourage. And I saw you sitting there, alone, and I could stop." Think about this. I had to think about it. I said, "You're talking to me. You are talking to me. 30 years from now, I could be sitting in a wheelchair with a blanket around me saying, I never thought my life would come to this disastrous end." I've got to learn to play. There's more to life than work. My wife doesn't believe me. She's smiling. She says, she's not going to believe that. Okay, now I've got to get to my sermon. That was just the bonus one. I couldn't find a place to put that story in the sermon, so I just had to tell it first. My story today includes mostly recent history. This is my first sermon after leaving the pulpit in Caldwell 15 months ago. I left my congregation to become a chaplain, to visit at the bedsides of patients at St. Luke's Hospital in Boise. What I didn't know is that I was also going to be working 3 days a week at Mercy Hospital in Nampa, which has been a real blessing to me. So accordingly, I have a lot to squeeze into my sermon today in a few short minutes. I mean, it's been like 50-some weeks without a sermon, so you understand the challenge I'm facing. And it may seem a little rough and unpolished because it's kind of like starting over again, Scott. It's like being new again. And if it sounds a little jumbled or disorganized or unpolished, I'll just offer to you some assembly required. Just take it out and put it together and fit it as you would like today. Nevertheless, today it's my story. Scott read the verse from Mark chapter 1, verses 16 and 17, the call of Peter and Andrew. And you can go through the Gospels and you can observe Jesus going from place to place, calling those 12 inner circle apostles who became the apostles. But you can also observe him mingling with the crowds and ministering to them, meeting their needs, and then inviting them to follow. "Come follow me," he said. Do you think Peter knew what it meant to follow Jesus? When Jesus said, "Peter, come follow me, I'll make you a fisher of men." Do you think Peter knew anything about what Jesus was calling him to do? Do you think he knew what his duties would be, what his the responsibilities he would carry, places he would live, churches and conferences? Remember, he became the General Conference president in Jerusalem. Do you think he understood the criticism he would face? Do you think he could look down the road and see himself hanging on a cross upside down because he refused to be crucified just like his Lord? He wasn't worthy to be crucified like his Savior.